Coach, you're in kind of uncharted territory as a coach and also for the school, with this being the third WNIT game that you're hosting. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm really excited. Where our team's ready. We're playing good basketball right now. The community has been great. I've been seeing signs all over that say congratulations and stuff. So the community has really embraced us, and we just want to put a good product tomorrow on the floor. And we know we're playing a really good team. So excited, but it's funny because I don't remember. I haven't been here until you tell me, because I just you just kind of go with the flow and think about it, because I feel like I've been there, but I forget as the head coach it's different. But I'm excited. I wanna repeat what we did a long time ago here. So going for the gold.
What's better, to make the NCAA tournament and lose in the first round, or to have a long run in the WNIT?
Well, it's better to have a long run in the WNIT, because for us it's game experience, and it's one and done experience, and that's really different. It feels different. There's a lot more pressure to be able to possibly play. Now this is our third, fourth, fifth, sixth game. I think it's a lot better. And we get another month of basketball, or potentially a month of basketball. So I think this is better, and I think this is perfect for where we're at. So.
Have you seen your team's preparation for these postseason games kind of heighten with?
No, I think that they're young and they kind of just go with the flow. So I think that there is no pressure. They just kind of go out and play. They're hungry. They want to win. They're excited. There's a tremendous amount of energy. So I really feel that they believe that we can win it all. I don't think there's any doubt in their mind. I think that they're just kind of one game at a time. I think it's probably good that they don't really know who the opponent is. We respect all of our opponents. We don't care what conference they're from. We don't care where they're from. I think we just are ready to play our game, and we do what we do. So they're excited, but they're learning from our practice players just shooting the threes really fast. They're learning that we're facing and preparing for a team that has tremendous shooters.
How do you prepare for a team on the fly like that, where
You
learn
just-
it and do you immediately go to film study, or how does
Yeah,
that
so
work?
immediately, so even like we're anticipating before, so there's stuff that's, as I'm preparing, I take one game at a time, so I'm definitely watching, and it's all Idaho right now, because if we don't beat Idaho, we're done. So, but then as a staff, scouts are already split up for each scenario, and getting ready and preparing for that. Stuff's on our, being downloaded, and on our computers, preparing for the next round. So there's all those things that's done behind the scenes, but as a team, we're not talking about any of that. We're talking about this. It's all Idaho, because we don't look past, and I don't think you can do that just in postseason. But we don't. That's not our philosophy anytime throughout the year. I never think, oh, next week we're playing this game. It's easier, and that the Pac-12 doesn't allow you to do that. So this is probably good why we think like this. But because there's such a fast turnaround, you have to do what you do. You have to stick to your principles and your philosophy, because it can change too much. I mean, the team we're playing, Idaho, they run a lot of stuff. And so if I couldn't possibly give my players 15 things to remember, it's just, we're a young team. We can't do that. Stanford could probably do that. But I think, when you're young, you just have to go with tendencies and, stuff that they do out of stuff and reads. And we're a solid defensive team, so just working on, this is what we really have to be prepared for. So these are the type of sets, and this is what it can look like. And then just main things.
And what does it mean to you to have former U of A alum like Bob Elliott coming out and Reggie Geary, and then the challenges from to buy tickets from Solomon Hill and Danielle, and it goes down the line?
It is awesome. I think it's really meaningful for me. I think when I see that, it makes me really happy, and just know that like Solomon Hill, who hasn't been here, doesn't know our team, doesn't know me personally, is just supporting. It means a lot. So definitely, like, now I'm like going to be supporting him. If he ever had a challenge for charity or something, I'm all in. So I think it's about giving back, and that's what we do at Arizona. You are part of a family, an extended family, and that's kind of how it's always been here. And that's how I'm building the women's program to be just like Sean and Lute have done with the men's program. So just all the overwhelming support, and it's just been fabulous. And I think great to see, and great for our team, great for the city. I don't think there's been this kind of excitement for a very long time. Probably, since I played, I assume. So it means a lot, and I'm getting texts all the time. So someone's gonna have to get a hold of Jason Terry, because no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and then just President Robbins and Dave Hickey, and I just saw Coach Candrea. All the coaches, Sean Miller bought some today. So that kind of support is I couldn't ask for a better place, and that's why I love this place. And I loved it as a player. I love the family. I love what we're all about. And I don't think you see that at other programs, and I don't think it feels this way.
You get a lot of quality minutes with your thin bench, but your bench players nonetheless. Tell me how that's going to transition not only in the rest of this tournament, but into maybe preseason practice next year.
It's going to help tremendously. It helps for experience. I think that you see the growth in Bryce, you see the growth in Samaje, and definitely Kate. I think Kate has raised the bar, and she's at another level, but I think all three of them have. So that's going to really help. And the minutes in the very beginning of the season were valuable because of that. And sometimes it was hard to find minutes for freshmen in the Pac-12. So that it always pays off. And we talked about that in the non-conference. How does this pay off for later? Well, we're seeing now how it paid off. So they came in, they didn't play like freshmen. And I love when I look in the crowd and I see people wearing red afros for Samaj. I think it's incredible. And I think that she has so much more confidence right now. So does Bryce, and so does Kate. And one of the things is because they came and they played well and gave good minutes. But the other thing is, when you have fans supporting you, you play a little bit harder. When you have someone yelling your name, I think all those things matter. And our players have really just done a good job of growing. And it's the work they put in. I haven't made them do it. They've gotten better just because of experience, but they've put in extra work, especially Bryce. She puts in work every single day. I walk into the gym, Bryce is the first one there. I leave the gym, Bryce is the last one. So that work pays off, and that I always said before, it may not pay off now, but it pays off in 1 or 2 months, and it's going to pay off next year, because the players that work hard, she's going to get better and continue to get better at a faster rate.
She's in one of my classes, and I saw her in a boot.
Is she a
this
good
week.
classmate?
Oh, she's awesome.
Good. Did she hand out flyers? No, just kidding.
Yeah, she had a boot on. Is that a concern for you guys?
No, it's just sometimes it's funny because it's not funny, but she got her toe stepped on. So it was just killing her. A practice player stepped on her toe, so it's just really tender. And so having the boot, it just relieves pressure.
Looking forward a little bit, is there a possibility to continue to play McHale if we get past this next game?
Yeah, there is. And so much of that behind the scenes, it's different bids and different situations. I think that a scenario that's very possible, depending on who wins or loses from Pepperdine and Wyoming. I think there's a potential we could win. We could play at Wyoming. If Wyoming were to win at home, that's a potential. Also, if Pepperdine wins, I think we play at home against Pepperdine, and then who knows what happens. We haven't even looked that far ahead. I just know that's a reality that could happen, and it's a very likely one.
And when you look at someone like TT and how she approaches the game, and then you look at sort of what she's going to do next in her career outside of basketball, what do you think that she brings from basketball and her approach that will make her great in whatever she does?
I think all those things are directly correlated. I think who you are as a person and how you approach things is how you're going to be successful. I think you have that grit or that passion, or you don't. I don't think you can teach that. TT has that. TT has that mentality. She's not going to quit. She's not going to lay down. She doesn't care who her competition is. She's going to arrive. She's going to find a way. Even if she can't walk, she will crawl to where she needs to get. But that's a mentality. And I think that's what separates good from great, people that are successful and people that aren't. She is going to make it, and she's going to reach her goals. And that's who she is. I think she gets a lot of that from her mother. I think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You see it in her mom, and you can see it in her. She's determined. She's confident. She has that swag. Like I said before in the press conference, if you told her that she's got to go guard, DeAndre Ayton, she'd be like, okay. I mean, she may think in her head, okay, he's going to probably dunk on me 25 times. But she's like, well, I'm going to guard him a little bit too. It's just the mentality. So that's how she is. And she's going to approach work the same way. She has an internship right now with the police department, and they love her. And I mean, she's the type that she'll do the work. She'll always have a good attitude. She'll represent herself well. That's what she does, and she'll probably get a job offer. And that wouldn't surprise me one bit. She's a great student. She's smart. She just finds a way and figures things out. I think some people are just proactive like that. You just kind of figure stuff out. You read people. And I think that's how she is.
And how does what she does and the fact that she's able to you know, have an internship while she's a student athlete.
Mhm.
There's a lot going on there. How does that show the younger players that, like, if you have a dream of doing something beyond this game, you can do it and manage it and prepare for it at the same time?
Well, she's someone who doesn't talk a lot about that stuff. She just acts on it. So I think that's how she is as a player. She talks about her internship. I know she was excited, and I had made some phone calls. I knew she got it before she got it. And I knew she was going to represent, because I want to put my name attached to someone that's going to do well and represent us well, and that was definitely her. She is mature and organized, and I think that the underclassmen can just see that in her. But she is determined, she's focused, and that's just who she is. I think that the best way they can learn from her is just the modeling. It's the way she carries herself. It's the way she's, you know, ready and dressed for the internships and goes. She's not like scrambling around late and stuff like that. So I think that that's just the part where she doesn't have to talk about it because they see it, and the actions speak louder than the words, and that's what she does. So she's going to be successful. If she'd be probably a kick butt detective or whatever she decides to do, she'll do it. And if she says she's going to do something, she does it. You always can rely on her. And I think those are the things you look for in the workforce. You look for just consistency, reliability, someone that works hard. So she has all those traits. And that's why, you know, when it was her last year here, I said, hey, you need to come back. And I didn't care that if she was hurt, you know, she would miss some of the summer or have to shut it down for a little while. I didn't care about that, because her value in so many other ways was outweighed the missing a month of practice. So.
It's got to be a special ride for Destiny, having come into the program and not having a lot of early success. Did you have a conversation with her going into the tournament, knowing that this is her last ride?
No, I didn't. I think we just talk about how important she is for our success at the end. But no, I haven't ever talked to her about it. But you're right, that it's probably an amazing journey for her, and I think she looks really happy in a good place right now. So I think she's just happy to have some success. And I talked to her more about the growth I've seen. Like when I came in here, she was a certain way. She didn't talk a lot. She was quiet, a lot more introverted. She has came out of her shell. She's more confident. She's just a completely different person than when I arrived on campus. And that's not because of me, that's because of her. She's made some changes and on and off the court, and she's just more focused. She's a person just a lot like TT. She's taking grad school classes. So she's looking at the next level. We worked together to get her into, I think you want to be a coach. That's a huge program for her that leads to some great things. So she'll probably end up getting a GA job somewhere. But she's smart, she's determined, and she's mature too. And she's really important for what we do in our success.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
All right, questions for Kate and Lucia?
Ladies, give us your insight on what's transpired so far in the tournament.
I just think, we've been practicing really hard, and Coach Diaz said, we have a good chance of going to the championship. So, I think we believed in that and believed in each other, and I think that that's really helped us to get where we are.
Yeah, I think we have been working really hard and having really good practices these few weeks. And I think we just need to keep doing what we have been doing all season, keep playing together, and we will get to the championship.
Lucia, have you had any experience in Spain or something of this magnitude, tournament-wise?
I play like European champions in a world championship. It's kind of similar, but yeah.
You guys kind of felt like a sense of urgency in practices or in your guys' preparation that maybe is a heightened level compared to the regular season?
I think we are competing a lot in practice. I think everybody knows like how important it is this time of the season, so it shows in practice.
Yeah, I agree. We're all really competitive, so whenever we play against each other, it really shows.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think about the team that you're going to face? Obviously, you've watched film on them at this point. What do you think you're going to have to do?
We need to focus on defense shooters because they are really good shooters, so we have to chase them and try to make them like take contested shots. I think.
Yeah, I agree with Lou. Just boxing out, going and contesting the shooters because they shoot more than they drive. So
Is there, let's see, so is there kind of going forward into this tournament? I know you guys haven't really been here like recently. Do you guys kind of feel that outside pressure at all?
I don't think so. I mean, I just think we kind of play within ourselves. We play for each other, like I said. And so, like, I haven't felt any pressure. I don't know if other people have, but I mean, I think it's about the same amount of pressure as Pac-12 tournament or like in season. So.
Yeah.
Is there a big adjustment having both of you gone through the non-conference and then into the Pac-12 where the style is a little different and now you're back into seeing things that you haven't seen in 2 months, 2.5 months, that you kind of have to refresh yourself on back cutting and screening away from the ball, that type of thing?
Yeah, it is weird because it's like in Pac-12 there was like multiple people like we all had to watch out for, but now it's like a bunch of like you said, back screening and stuff like that. So it's like it's different, but it's like I think like we played enough of it in non-conference where we don't really have to refresh as much. Just like kind of like just go back to what we were doing, I guess.
Yeah, it's not something new that we haven't seen, so I think we're ready for it.